No one is widely talking about this on the internet because I think people are afraid to bring it up. They're afraid. They're afraid to bring it up because they don't want to feel shame. They don't want to be told that they're doing wrong. They don't want to be told that this could be unhealthy. They don't want to feel all these feelings, which is valid. But you have to ask yourself, based off of this current economy, is it worth it to be doing one thing or another? And we're going to get into those things in a moment, because really it all depends on where you live, what you're buying, how you're buying it, and of course, definitely goes off of a lot of factors. Because some single people get away with doing this and it works, and maybe if you're a larger family, it wouldn't work for you. So I guess it just depends. Now, I'm going to tell you from my perspective what I do and why I do it, and it may not be for the reasons you think. So let's get into it. I know you're probably thinking, what the heck is she talking about? She's starting to psychobabble here. No, I'm talking about food. Is it cheaper for you to dine out right now with all the $5 meal deals, 2 for $3, 2 for $4, 2 for $5, $7 meal deal here, $9.99 pizza there, get two topping pizzas for $6.99. It makes you wonder if your value and time spent in the kitchen is cheaper. People are starting to, specifically Dollar Tree dinners and a few other folks here on YouTube land, are starting to bring it up. Why? Because it's honest. And sometimes even buying it pre-made is cheaper. Like the comparison between White Castle frozen burgers and the ones from Walmart. Like the Great Value brand. That is now going all over the internet. So, I guess it depends. Are you by yourself? Is it just you and a spouse? How much of something are you actually going to eat? Because let's be real. How many meals can you eat with X amount of the same thing in it every single day? We are human. We like variety. Let's be real. We all love variety. But the question is do you think it's cheaper to cook from scratch? Because after you buy the ingredients, the spices, the cheeses, the dairy in general, all the different toppings, lettuce, tomato, pickle, onion. If you are making tacos, you might have to buy sour cream and taco sauce, all the different things. All of the things put together, honestly, I don't think at times it is cheaper to cook at home. Now, somebody's going to hate me in the comments for that because they're like, oh, Amanda, I thought you cook from scratch. I mean, I do cook from scratch, but it's for different reasons. Not only that, but I'm on a very low income. I live in the state of Oregon, and it's super expensive to live here. So I am spending all of my time grinding out money, working my hourly job, my low-wage hourly job, plus I'm doing DoorDash, Uber, Lyft, Spark, Instacart, all the different things, driving a beater car that's mostly broken down, and I'm also really just trying to get by, because all of my money, my hard-earned money, goes to living expenses like housing and utilities and all the different things that my household needs with children and life. I have so little money to spend on luxuries that dining out is now luxury. Even spending $5 on a $5 meal deal is a luxury for me, but it may not be the same way for you. Maybe you're by yourself, so making an abundance of something for a meal doesn't make sense. I've had people go one way or another with this, but it's not necessarily cheaper to go out and buy all of the ingredients now in this economy. It's just not. The one thing I do struggle with the most is fresh produce, because I live in a food desert. So they have to bring the food to our area, which already costs money anyway. It already made food a lot more expensive in my area. But then you have the rising prices. I don't want to spend $8 on a bag of oranges. I don't want to spend $3.49 on apples at any grocery store. And even the ones that I shop at that tend to be cheaper, like discount stores and Winco Foods, I do buy some produce at Costco when it's on sale or a decent price. Someone once told me, oh, well, that's not a really good price on this item. Well, you don't live in the same area I do. So that's where that comparison can't equate to the same thing. We can't be comparing apples to oranges when I live in a much more expensive state than you do. So it all depends. It also depends on your diet. What are you eating? The number one reason I dine at home and we cook all of our meals, besides being on a low income, the number one reason is because my husband has a gluten intolerance. He is completely gluten-free. Can't even mix it with anything else. Can't touch anything else. Can't do any of that. And I'm talking cross-contamination. It happens all the time in restaurants. That's why there's a disclosure at almost every single restaurant you eat at, unless they're a very much so specialty, that wheat, eggs, dairy, shellfish, all those things can cross-contaminate into your food. So we don't eat at McDonald's, because the chances are that that meat can still touch the bun. It can still touch a surface that the bun was on. No one talks about deep fryers, but deep fryers are filled with crumbs from chicken nuggets, from patties, those chicken patties. All that crummy stuff is wheat. So yes, it does cross-contaminate. So that is one of the biggest reasons why, as we deal with the sun shifting here, that is the biggest reason why I cook from home. The second is obviously because it's healthier. So dependent on what you're making, you get to choose what goes in that particular meal. So it's all about preference, price range, and if you are feeding an abundance of people or not. People with 6 to 8 kids likely are not going to go out to dinner. Those people with 10 kids, they're not going out for dinner. Not in this economy, they're not. I watched a family of 10 make their own pizzas, even though Domino's has a deal for $6.99 for a 2-topping pizza. Not sponsored in any which way or shape or form, but the reality is that people are trying to stretch their buck. But sometimes it's cheaper for you to go to Taco Bell to buy a couple of tacos if you're just the only one eating it, or you and your significant other are the only one eating it, rather than making it all at home. Tortillas aren't cheap. You could make them yourself, but that's time consuming. That's the other thing. People don't think their time is worth anything. Unless you are retired, your time is valued. And even then, time is money. There's a reason they say that. They also don't talk about things like how much it costs to cook food. You have to have a stove. You have to have the ability to have electric or gas to fuel the ability to cook food. So it's not getting any cheaper because you're not playing in the part of having to cook it. If I'm cooking 3 meals a day, that's costing me money to cook those 3 meals. You can tell me up and down, I only eat this and I don't cook that, and you still cook. You still cook. 99% of us still cook on our stove, right? You got a microwave, it costs electricity to run them. So, it's all a variable. So is it cheaper, in your opinion, to dine out in some instances, or is it cheaper to make it homemade? What if you had to rebuy everything you have in your kitchen again? Let's say you had to move. You have to buy your flour, your sugar, all your spices. You have to do all of the rebuying of your oils, butter, all those things that cost money. The little things we don't think about. Salt and pepper. Gotta buy it. If you had to start over fresh, as if you didn't have it at all, I bet you it would be really expensive. And I could almost tell you it could be hundreds and hundreds of dollars to replace all those things. If you were to utilize them or have to replace everything in your kitchen. You can't just go to your pantry and be like, oh yeah, remember that time when I got flour for 99 cents? Oh yeah, I moved. Yeah, I moved, so I no longer have that flour. I want some salt and pepper to put on my chicken tonight, but I don't have any. Oh, and I also wanted garlic and onion powder. It all costs money. Time is money. So I guess let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.